Hi, and thanks for joining us. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Kim Christensen. Changes to Aurora police policies are leading to fewer SWAT callouts and more vehicle pursuits. That's according to data in a new report released this month by the Independent Consent Decree Monitor for the city.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause has been digging into that report for us. Rachel, what did you find?
Yeah, the Monitor's latest report is clear that APD is improving in by-street policing and documentation of stops, areas they're working to address with the Monitor following the death of Elijah McClain. But they're also breaking down the impact to the community after the department made a few significant changes to policy back in the spring. A report released this month by the Independent Consent Decree Monitor found a number of policy changes made by Aurora Police are bringing about change in the community. Following the death of Kylan Lewis in May of 2024, APD dialed back its use of SWAT, reserving the team for high-risk scenarios where specialized tactics are needed. And since then, it's led to a drop in how often SWAT is called out. Data in the Monitor's report found since the changes were implemented, SWAT deployments are down 36%, from 244 callouts to 156. And SWAT's use of force is down 35%, from 17 incidents to 11, with no serious injuries or deadly incidents with SWAT. The Monitor says these changes are positive. APD says the SWAT changes weren't implemented because of the consent decree's reporting or suggestions, instead saying Chief Todd Chamberlain is bringing SWAT in line with nationwide best practices. Aurora PD also expanded its vehicle pursuit policy last March. The expansion allows officers to initiate chases now for suspected driving under the influence and stolen vehicles. Since then, chases in Aurora have gone up significantly. From October to February before the change, data from the Monitor shows there were 3 vehicle pursuits. After the changes, from April to August this year, there were 107 pursuits. A whopping 80 of those were for stolen vehicles, and 87 people were arrested. 22 of those police chases involved a crash, including 11 involving other cars, leaving 3 people injured. As for the stolen vehicles, data shows half of the people were apprehended and half escaped. The Monitor says it's recommending Aurora add dash cameras to all patrol vehicles to help them recover stolen vehicles before they even happen by scanning license plates, as well as to increase transparency. Aurora PD says they're, quote, capturing more criminals and holding them accountable, which is exactly the reason for Chief Chamberlain entrusting our officers to engage in these pursuits. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Federal judges in Colorado have struck down a government policy denying bond hearings to immigrants in detention, issuing 5 rulings in just 6 business days. Immigration attorney Hans Meyer calls it a clean sweep against the Trump administration's detention policies practices. The cases challenge what Meyer describes as a radical reinterpretation of immigration law, one that ended 30 years of legal precedent seemingly overnight. At issue is whether immigrants who entered the country without permission decades ago must be held in mandatory detention or are entitled to bond hearings. Meyer says the legal principle is straightforward.
When people are picked up, if they've come into the country without permission and are picked up later in life, they're at least entitled to a bond hearing. Some people deserve to get out, some people may not, but everybody has a right to a bond hearing.
Meyer says this is the first step in a legal battle that will largely impact people who have been here for decades.
Ski season is picking up. Arapahoe Basin is now the 2nd ski area in North America to open after Keystone got one up on them yesterday afternoon. A Basin's first chair, as you hear, of the season started turning at 8:20 this morning with a party at the Basin Base area celebrating opening day. Food was cooked in the lift line and hundreds turned out to make their first turns of the season on October 26th at the Basin, and they did earlier this year than they did last year. It didn't open until early November last year.
Hey, we had a good year, you know. I mean, we've opened earlier before, but this has been really good. We had a couple of great cold snaps that we took advantage of with our snowmaking, so it's a good start.
The Basin has mid-mountain to the base open for skiing and riding. A few inches of fresh powder could fall there tonight into early tomorrow morning, and boy, would that help out.
It's a sign, Kathy. Right now, we've had a great mild weekend, but people are hopping, they're ready to get up there and start making some turns.
I know, and as meteorologists, we're looking for Denver's first snow because we're past due for that, and we're not seeing that in the short-term forecasting. So I guess we'll just be stuck with this wonderful weather for a little while longer. We have a wonderful evening out there, fair skies, light winds, temperatures in the 50s after day with highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. The wind is ramping up out of the south, all ahead of a weather system that's approaching from the Pacific Northwest. The jet stream will carry a lot of that precipitation and energy north of Colorado, but we'll tap into enough of it that we will see some scattered snow showers like we're seeing now in the northern and central mountains. Light accumulation, Winter Park, Vail, Fairplay, down to Crested Butte and back up into the Steamboat Springs area. Not enough that we have winter weather or travel advisories, but just be aware there is snow falling and it will be again tomorrow. Denver is dry tonight and dry for most of the day tomorrow, but a second front comes in the afternoon and we might actually have some isolated showers late in the day. Temperatures trend very comfortable over the next few hours. Weather headlines include more on that mountain snow event. The windy, cooler Monday forecast is coming up as well, and a look at a not so scary Halloween forecast.
Denver police arrested a person accused in a deadly hit and run early this morning. Police say it happened at 16th and Market Street in downtown. They first posted about a little after 2:30 this morning. Around 10 this morning, police announced they had arrested 27-year-old Milton McBride on suspicion of vehicular homicide.
Colorado's Department of Revenue says a text scam is targeting people here in the state. The Department of Revenue says scammers will send messages asking for people's banking information so they can receive, and we're doing this in quotes here, so that they can receive their tax refund. The texts also mention that there will be consequences for not responding by a set deadline. DOR is asking Coloradans to ignore the messages and avoid clicking any links that come with them. The department says it will never send these kinds of messages to you. At least 9 other states have previously reported the scam.
2 diehard Broncos fans are proving friendship and football sometimes go hand in hand. A love for the game is what brought them together decades ago.
So they now live hundreds of miles apart. They were reunited today at Mile High. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is live with us now. And I mean, just being reunited must be cause for celebration. But how about after this particular game?
Oh boy, yeah, the excitement for sure was there. A few nerves before kickoff, but complete and utter joy by the end of it all. These lifelong Broncos fans were fired up after today's win. One told me being a fan isn't just about the game, it's about identity, about belonging, and these two are as faithful as they come.
We have many connections, but at the heart, we were long-suffering Bronco fans, and we have been rewarded over history.
The story of these two goes way back.
We didn't know we were each at the very first Bronco game in 1960. And we really got to know each other, many years later and kind of found this common ground.
Longtime season ticket holders.
Mine for 42 years and his for 66.
Mark Pumphrey and Jim Strain are unwavering in their dedication to the orange and blue.
You could say, I love the Broncos. And I have the tattoo to prove it.
He sure does.
I'd been at that church 6 months, and it was not the kind of church that was used to having a pastor with a tattoo.
Reverend Pumphrey, now retired, and Strain, a Hollywood screenwriter whose credits include 1995's Jumanji, met almost 60 years ago.
We both started school together in the fall of 1967 at Phillips University in Enid, Oklahoma.
Among 1,500 students from all over the country, they found each other.
From week to week, our value as human beings rises or falls depending on the outcome of the game.
He sent me a text after the game last week and said, our value as human beings is skyrocketing. And
sure, they no longer live in the same state.
It was really a part of our boyhood, I think. That's fair to say.
Yeah.
But as seasons and rosters change, they say nothing can dull their passion for the Broncos or their delight at seeing each other again.
It's just more fun.
Couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Go Broncos?
Yeah, go Broncos.
Well, after the Broncos' epic comeback win against the Giants last week, you heard Mark was saying he got a text from Jim that said, Pumphrey, our worthless human beings is skyrocketing. Well, I texted him a little bit later on tonight, and he also sent me an emoji of the rocket. So clearly their worth as human beings is headed even higher tonight. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Yeah, they got a great win to experience together.
Definitely.
The ups are better than the downs for sure. All right, Shalima, thank you.